first with Anthony Dasher and then Henry Queen.
Hey, Coach, obviously a lot to talk about with this one. But you had to fight through some stuff today. And then Tamani gets just a tremendous block there at the end. Just that kind of moment, how that kind of really kind of sealed things for him. Just him to be in that position to make that play.
He made a great play. He really did. And he didn't let the disappointment of a missed free throw. I thought he guarded extremely well, especially out on the perimeter. He's got to do even more with his blocking out. We gave up a couple offensive rebounds. But it was a tremendous block against a guy that is one of the best in the league at drawing fouls. So he went straight up, got great verticality on the block, and then saved it. So it was huge. It is hard to win in this league. Extremely hard. And for us to do something, I asked Mike the other day, when's the last time a Georgia team has won 3 games in a row in the SEC? And he said it had been March 3rd, 2017. Mm-hmm. And so I used that with this team. I mean, we these are hard. I mean, every night you play, you win by 20 or you win by 1. It's hard to do. And it's an excellent league. I mean, Vanderbilt was coming off their best game of the year. They have been right there in many, many games, whether it's Mississippi State, whether it's Tennessee, Kentucky goes down to the absolute last possession, whatever it is, they're right there. They're extremely talented. They're extremely well coached. They can really shoot the ball. And so any win you get in this league is crucial. And I am confident that most coaches would agree with that. And it's very, very hard to win.
Thank you.
Turnovers might have been an issue, but y'all out-rebounded Vanderbilt, which y'all also out-rebounded Auburn last game. How pleased were you with performance on the boards today?
No, I think we've got to get better offensive rebounding. I was definitely not happy with that at halftime. We shot 59% for the game, 46% from 3. But we've got to get our offensive rebounding up. There were a couple of times we didn't block out as well. Anytime you're shooting a lot of long shooting threes, there's going to be a lot of long rebounds, and they know that. They're very adept at getting those balls. But for us to out rebound them again, that's with our size differential, that's huge.
Okay, up next, let's have Mark Weiser and then Augustus Stone.
Tom, as a coach, do you take just as much satisfaction or maybe more so winning on a game when you're not playing at the same level that you did like at Auburn when it seemed like you guys were good from start to finish?
It's a gregreat win. I mean, that's all I can say. Any win in this league is a great win. It's not about you're satisfied with your win. It's a long week. You've got a lot of things to improve upon, but these games are coming fast and furious. And every team that you're playing, when you're lined up, I don't know about the people that aren't lined up, how they see it, but when you're lined up across from the other coach and across from the other team, and you see the talent level and you spend all week or 3 days, whatever it is, preparing for that game, and how good they can be, and you come out of there winning a game, you don't ever begrudge winning, and you're very thankful for it. And then you figure out what you've got to do to improve on your strengths and to improve on your weaknesses.
Hey, Coach, y'all were able to hold Scottie Pippen Jr. not to one of his lowest shooting performances of the season. I want to know what was the key on him defensively.
Staying in front. He creates angles. He does a great job of drawing fouls. Unfortunately, he got the same amount of free throws. He's very, very adept at creating contact. And a couple of times I was disappointed in that he got to the line with that. But bottom line, you got to stay in front. We wanted to bring pressure and fatigue to him. We put different people on him. And I thought Sevier did an outstanding job. Justin did. And then certainly Jackson Emery brought a ton to him. Defensively, we're very, very comfortable with that. I thought Jackson and Ty played their most minutes, had their best games as Georgia Bulldogs, and they were very instrumental in our win. And I think that's one of the keys. You've got to get contributions from a lot of different people. And I've said this so many times before, but it's so true. Momentum is always up for grabs in a game, and you never know who's going to grab it. And I thought when Jackson went in, he helped grab the momentum of the game. I thought Ty did it in the first half. And so with that being said, you put different people in situations like guarding a young man like Scottie Pippen Jr., who's so good, so improved, and you've got to bring fatigue to the game. You can't just let him set the pace of the game. And then on the other end, you've got to recognize what's there. We went 1 of 6 from 3 in the second half after going 6 of 9, but the three-point shooting wasn't as imperative as getting the ball inside, getting to the rim. And we were very, very conscious of trying to get to the basket so that we could get to the foul line, because we knew that was an area that needed to be a strength for us against a team like Vanderbilt.
Okay, let's have Davis Baker and then Ryan Curley.
Hey, Coach. Severe and PJ combined for 30 points on only 3 missed shots. How important was the efficiency within the offense today?
Very important. I didn't even realize that. So I haven't studied this sheet, but I just know we had 46 deflections. That's the number I look at first. I'll study this when I get upstairs, but very efficient, very, very efficient. And Severe did a great job controlling pace. You know, we're asking a lot of him. I mean, there's no we're going to hide him on a matchup type of situation and let him rest on defense. And I think sometimes with high usage guards, you know, that we can't take a back seat to anybody on the defensive end. So he's got to do a really good job defensively. And I think one of the keys to us improving has been his defensive improvement, his decision-making, shooting, getting to the rim, passing, all those things are improving. Well, so is his ability to defend. And I think when you come into the game, in answer to your question, when you come into the game like PJ and Severe, really focused on how you've got to guard, it's amazing how that opens up things for you offensively. And it was great to see PJ had a bust out night like that with shooting the ball. And again, I thought we got a lot of contributions from a lot of guys. And again, we didn't play any superb, perfect game. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's hard to do that. These other teams are good too. And the bottom line is finding a way to win is as valuable as anything you can possibly have, especially when you're getting ready to go on the road.
Hey, Coach. It seems that whenever Jackson is on the floor, he contributes in a lot of ways positively. What keeps him on the bench in a lot of these games?
Well, let's just focus on right now that he was in the game today, okay? Because we won the game and Jackson works really hard and we have other players. But I'm just going to focus on the fact that he went in there and did a really good job. So really, at the end of the day, that's the story to me. And so when he plays 15 minutes like that, I think that, or 14 and a half minutes like that, that's the story to me.
Okay, up next, let's have Jed May and then Palmer Toms.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about Ty McMillan. I think a couple of weeks ago you said he's a guy that needs to be more physical, you know, for this team. Just what did you see from him in that area tonight? I think he ended up with 7 points. And is this a sign of his growth and what he can be for this team going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen it coming. I mean, I thought he did a good job the other night in the first half of the Auburn game. And it wasn't his fault that I didn't play him in the second half. It was more we just had a rotation of 3 guys. And it's important. I mean, we've got some guys that are doing a good. Ty Fagan's been outstanding. It wasn't a great night for him. It wasn't a great night for KD, even though those guys did a lot of good things. Justin made shots late. There were certain times he didn't make shots in the middle. You just got to keep finding your depth to come alive and impact the game when they go in. And I think when Ty strings together really good practices and he strings together impacting his teammates and he's having fun and he's playing with some confidence, he can help our team. And I think this is a good step for him. It's been his best week.
Coach, you touched on it with Jackson, Garden, Pippen tonight, and Cooper earlier this week. Is there something in particular you saw in him this week in practice that you know gave you the confidence to match him up with those 2 great players?
No, not at all. I think if you remember, we put him in late in the game in the Samford game, and he made a big layup. No, it's not that at all. He's a play-on-demand player. You know, he's ready every time he's asked. You know, Christian Brown's been banged up. You know, Ty Fagan plays a lot of minutes. KD's eligible now. Those things play into it, but he's always ready when you put him in there. And he's got a great attitude. I love coaching him. He does a fantastic job. And again, he epitomizes a term I've used. I know I've used it with you guys before, but it's something I learned a long, long time ago. Scott Skiles, when he was an NBA coach, he referred to a guy named Adrian Griffin, who's now an assistant with the Raptors. He referred to him as a play-on-demand player. Every time he was called upon, he was ready to go. I never forgot that. I heard that when I was early on in my career at Indiana. And I always use that as a reference point with players. Well, if we were going to put a poster up for that right now on our team, Jackson Emery would be the epitome of play on demand. You know, when you call him, he's ready and he goes out there and he impacts the game.
If I may ask, how many deflections did he have tonight?
No, I don't have it in front of me. I didn't look at that, but I know he had a good number. I don't have that in front of me, or I'd tell you. I can get that to Mike, and Mike can shoot you a text if you'd like.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, for last question.
I'm sorry, I don't bring that chart in. It's on the board. I didn't bring anything in. I just see the stat sheet in front of me. So I'm sorry.
We're going to go get that for you. And also for our last question, let's have Connor Riley.
Hey, Tom, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but you've won 3 straight SEC games for the first time in your tenure. How significant or encouraging is that for what you're building here at Georgia?
I think it's huge, right? I mean, the prognosticators picked us 13th at the beginning of the year. I mean, it's hard to win, man. I mean, it's extremely hard to win. It's tough all the way around. And I mean, you're thankful that you get these opportunities. There were 32 games this morning that were canceled or postponed, including 2 in our league. And not only is it hard to win, you don't know, tomorrow's not promised you here. I mean, it's just not. Tomorrow's not promised you in college basketball. So you've got to take advantage. I know that sounds cliche-ish, but it's true. I mean, nobody thought when Florida's playing the other night, you don't think that they're going to be down. You don't think that A&M's going to be down, but here we are, right? And could happen to us tomorrow. Could happen to anybody. So you want to do the very best you can do of controlling what you can control, which is your preparation, your attitude, your energy, the togetherness you have with your teammates, and being excited to play. And I think that says a lot about it. And I'm really proud of the way they played. You got the number? All right, Jackson had 8 deflections, which is probably career high. Anybody else?
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, thank you.